Our guest tonight is Lucha Underground star, Son of Havoc. How you doing tonight, man?
Doing well. How you guys?
Can't complain at all. You've been one of the most popular stars in Lucha Underground, which airs every Wednesday at 8 p.m. on El Rey Network. You also have plenty of experience in many different promotions during your career. How is Lucha Underground's locker room different from other companies, and what is the general feeling about where the company stands now and where it's going in the future?
I think everyone is really on the same page, which is quite rare. I mean, obviously we all experience and or read about that kind of stuff every day. And the locker room is like a cohesive unit. There's not cliques. There's not certain guys hanging out in certain areas. There's not, we are the ex-WWE guys. There's not we are some of that guys. It's all people on the same page, realizing what they're a part of, realizing that, man, here is the chance to create something new and different in the wrestling space, which hasn't been done in God knows how many years. So everyone is just really, really excited and motivated to kind of work together. Hopefully that cohesive unit that we have become can continue on, because I think the effects of it are being seen on the show, and everything's kind of running so well, and we're being treated so well that, again, it boils down to everyone just working together and being excited.
Mike Chiari?
Lucha Underground's really kind of taken the wrestling world by storm, and it's emerged as a great alternative for wrestling fans who are kind of looking for something unique. Above all else, what do you think truly is setting Lucha Underground apart from the other top American promotions, and why do you think so many fans have gravitated toward it already?
I think Lucha Underground is an evolution of our business. I think all forms of entertainment are forced to evolve, and wrestling, for whatever reason, has remained, more or less stagnant. I mean, it's the difference between us as kids and or our parents watching the Brady Bunch versus Breaking Bad. I mean, the way things are shot, the angles used, the actors. I mean, there's more expected out of today's audience, I believe. They're smarter than they've been treated in the past. It's not just, here's something in front of you. Now there's, little hints and little things you have to decipher. And as entertainment in general has evolved, and we've kind of seen that, audiences can keep up with this kind of thing, Lucha Underground is that evolution in the wrestling business. I mean, everything is different. If you're flipping through channels and you come across it, whether it's one of these cinematic vignettes in the back, or it's the in-ring action, or it's down to the costuming or everything, I mean, it's been approached so differently, and it's so fresh and unique. And this is, I mean, I'm so honored to be a part of it, because I clamored for change, just as so many of us did, forever. And now to be a part of that change is just so exciting. I mean, I think just everything about it is different, and that's what's great. It's not just, I think a lot of times wrestling falls into the category of like the old boys club. Like, this is the way things have always been done, so this is the way that they're going to be done. Whether that just be tradition or just laziness. And I think now, with a new, fresh set of eyes that aren't just going to take the face value or do things the way they always have been done, everything is being looked at fresh and new, and that's coming across in the content.
PG?
During your match with Johnny Mundo last month, fans really started to support you, and you've been having far more success recently than when Lucha Underground first started. As a performer, how important is it to you that the fans are now supporting and appreciating your in-ring abilities?
Oh, it's very nice. I mean, I'm a guy that's spent 14 years in this business, and I've always felt that with just the slightest bit of backing, I had a lot to offer. I feel like Lucha Underground is the first time that I've been given the ball. And it wasn't even necessarily me being given the ball as me smelling that the ball was near me, seeking it down, grabbing it, and then running. Again, I think that I have a lot to offer, and I've just been able to use Lucha Underground as a perfect platform to show that. Whenever I had an opportunity, I just made the most of it, and I could see what was happening and who was involved, and I have to be so thankful, and I think this is another thing that sets us apart, because they listen to us as the talent. They listen to people behind the scenes. They're listening to the fans. I mean, this is a lot more interactive than even people might realize, and certainly more so than I think any other televised wrestling product is. So as the fans kind of got behind me and they saw that I had something to offer, and it was, I was initially presented as kind of maybe a more powerful guy. So people were like, okay, that's his style. And then I was able to surprise them with some of my, unique moveset and moves and things like that, and kind of show them that, oh, wait a minute, this guy isn't just power based. Like he can also fly. So it really kind of took, people aback, and it's just been, great for me to kind of have that showcase. And I love having the fans behind my back. I mean, that's the beauty of this industry, is like, it's an art that's evolving before your very eyes. It's like, if I go to a basketball game and I yell for, like, LeBron James shoots a three, and I'm like, man, that was so awesome, I want him to do it again. I can chant all I want, like, one more time or shoot another three, and, like, he's not going to do it just because I wanted to see it. Whereas in professional wrestling, stuff like that can happen. We have such an amazing, like, canvas under which to work under. And with Lucha Underground, I've been told specifically, we love you, be you. And as a wrestler, that's all we can ask for. So it's like I'm being given all the opportunities that I've ever wanted in front of this rabid crowd and rabid audience that's so involved. And again, that's the beauty of wrestling, because the fans aren't just fans. They're not just a crowd. They're, like, intrinsically linked to what is happening, and they're so involved. And we feed up that energy, and hopefully they feed up energy that we're putting out. And I mean, the temple's really become a cool place and an awesome environment.
Well, while you have spent much of your career as an unmasked wrestler, the Son of Havoc gimmick is not your first time wrestling with a mask. Whose decision was it to have you wear a mask for Lucha Underground, and what differences does it present to you as a performer?
I mean, they have their vision for certain people and certain characters and things like that they wanted to get across, and they felt that with my background and with my knowledge and respect of Lucha Libre, I'd be able to, adapt to that style. That's kind of what got me involved in the show in the first place. Wrestling under a mask is quite difficult. It's almost unfortunate that as an audience, not entirely clued into what it's like. I mean, sight is an issue, hearing is an issue, breathing is an issue. Obviously, it's insanely hot. You're shooting a television show. There's a lot of lights involved, so you're just baking under this thing. So it really is a different experience. I had never even worn tights before. In my head, I was always like, it's 2010 or 2015. There's no need to wear tights anymore. So I'm in long tights for the first time ever. I'm wearing leather boots for essentially the first time ever. I got thrown a lot of, what could be curveballs at the last minute. But I guess it speaks to, everyone's talent, because I know, like, Prince Puma is in the exact same boat. I mean, here's a guy under a mask wearing boots and stuff. And as I hope that people watching the show, I don't think it's slowed us down or changed anything. And I think that's a testament to having so many years in the business. I think if I was starting out or newer, that might be more of an issue. But I've got a good sense of my capabilities, and so I'm able to roll with the punches. But yeah, it's definitely a different world, and I wish people had more of an idea of how difficult it can be.
Mike Chiari?
Your partnership with Ivelisse, it's been one of the most entertaining parts of Lucha Underground so far. The two of you are obviously really familiar with each other, having both been a part of Tough Enough. But how have you enjoyed your time working side by side with Ivelisse, and why do you believe that the two of you have been able to mesh so well together as a tandem?
I think we work so well together because, as you alluded to, we've known each other literally for years. We knew each other even pre-Tough Enough for years before. So we've had this, like, really strange trajectory where it was just two people on random indies. Okay, two people now living together under these insane circumstances that were Tough Enough. And then it's back to, running into each other here and there and keeping in touch on the indies. And now seeing each other again here, it's like it's a weird kind of story about how our careers have, intertwined. So, and again, we're both just really excited. I mean, here's someone just like myself. What have we wanted, her and I both? An opportunity, a showcase. That's what we're receiving. And it's not just it's this one that's like, if I could create something from scratch, I would hope I had the even imagination to come up with something as cool as Lucha Underground. So we both now have this environment to showcase what we do, and it's just really exciting for both of us. And we just have an appreciation for Lucha Libre. We have appreciation for the business. We have respect for those that came before us. We kind of have been in it long enough where we understand certain elements of it and where it fits into our life. So I think it's just two people at similar parts in their life, similar parts in their career, just excited to be on television, excited we have such, again, free reign that, like, we are part of the creative process. Our ideas aren't just shot down or laughed at. I mean, everything and everyone is taken seriously, so it's fun for us to kind of evolve and see where everything goes, what a great thing to be on weekly television and be able to tell those stories that are more difficult to tell on independent wrestling, where maybe there's a show every month, or maybe you're relying on people to go to a website to follow through with things. Now it's it's more in your face when it's every week, and you can really kind of delve into these stories more, and that's been a lot of fun to be a part of.
PG?
Yourself and the other wrestlers at Lucha Underground have really been pushing the limit when it comes to the high-risk maneuvers. How much competition is there backstage to one-up the next person, and how do you know when to draw the line?
Oh, that's a good question. As of now, I think, alluding back to the first question, the environment backstage it's really neat, because I always thought you'd have guys in different rooms or different whatevers or stuff like that would be a factor or even noteworthy. But all I can really say is that there's a monitor in the back. Everyone's able to watch, and it's like we're all cheering for one another. I feel like it's brought out the fan in not only wrestling fans and maybe even people that have walked away from the business at one point or another, but us as the workers, I feel, are like reborn fans. Speaking, strictly for myself, when I'm in the back watching Johnny Mundo, I can't wait to see what he does next. He's so motivated to push the envelope and to do things that he may have not been able to do in his past, or kind of held back from doing. And he's going out there just busting out the craziest stuff. Like, what? You got to be kidding me! So it's like feeding off that energy. I know for myself, it's pushing me to kind of progress in the sport and to not just be stale and not be happy just doing the things that I do. Because I'm like, man, seeing a lot of the like Phoenix and a lot of the AAA talent and all these amazing guys, and everyone's pushing the envelope as part of the show, and then it's kind of forcing us as individuals to grow. So it's been fun, if anything. Like we watch each other, and it's like, oh man, what's going to happen next? What's going to go on? Being able to watch as a fan and not just as a chore is a lot of fun. So second part of the question was where to draw the line. I mean, who knows? That'll remain to be seen. I love that as part of Lucha Underground, in such a unique environment to interact with Dario Cueto's office right there in the temple, and guys have been freaking like launching themselves off this thing, and like Drago jumped off through a table and put King Cuerno through a table and stuff that when I first entered the building, I don't even know if I ever would have thought of. So it's neat to see and to interact with the environment. So it's almost like a video game. We all remember those parts of games coming up, or if not today, where it's like, oh, cool, the backstage segment. They're like, it's added that special element of it, and kind of it's part of the norm, or certainly it could be the norm. So it's I don't know. I mean, I think there's such a young roster and such a motivated roster. I don't know where the line will be. I think guys right now, like I said, are just kind of riding this wave and so excited. We're cheering each other. I mean, I'll come to the back and everyone's like hugging and clapping, and I'm doing that for them. So it's a really neat time for the company as a whole.
Oh, earlier we mentioned Tough Enough. I'm still not over your elimination. I hold on to grudges. It's something that's a problem I deal with. What did performing for the WWE do for your psyche and your drive in the wrestling industry?
Oh, geez. I mean, all that can really be said at the end of the day, the Tough Enough was a television show. So, I mean, take that for what it is. It's like I don't harbor any ill will towards Stone Cold Steve Austin. I'm in touch with him to this day. I did American Ninja Warrior last year and was able to talk to him for a good half an hour, 45 minutes leading up to my appearance, and he was really curious and wanted to know everything about it. And we got down to talking about wrestling and Cesaro and our thoughts on the Shield. And I mean, there's a guy that genuinely loves wrestling. And so, I mean, to this day, I'm in touch with him, and he's been very supportive and very helpful. So it was a good experience just for something like that. I would have never thought that coming out of it, I would even get to meet him, or if I did, I would have certainly thought it ended at that. So I'm sure part of his contract wasn't. And to pick one of the talents or two or whatever it might be, and then keep in touch with them indefinitely. So, ultimately, I'm thankful for just for the people that it introduced me to along the ride, and then it is a kind of nice full circle type thing to now have. Martin was one of the competitors. He's part of Lucha Underground now. Me and Ivelisse are obviously together. It's kind of neat to see this like full circle element of it.
Mike Chiari?
One of the most intriguing aspects of Lucha Underground is that the male and female talent work together rather than being placed in different divisions. And I think it works really well, with your match against Sexy Star being a great example of that. But at the same time, there's been some bad publicity regarding intergender wrestling outside of Lucha Underground based on what happened at Beyond Wrestling recently. But with all that in mind, how do you feel about the manner in which Lucha Underground approaches intergender wrestling, and what do you think the chances are of it becoming maybe more prevalent in other mainstream promotions because of the success you guys are having with it?
I think it will continue to grow. It's funny because I didn't realize how groundbreaking that it was or could be. I mean, obviously the very first episode was myself for Sexy Star, and I didn't think that was weird or different. So it was only when the show aired and I saw a lot of the response to it and people were like just so blown away. I guess, I don't know, I always loved ECW so much, and ECW was so crazy and almost anything wins, and I wouldn't think anything of Miss Congeniality, who was Lita at the time, like if she was to wrestle a guy. Like, so I guess I just never even realized that men and women don't mix it up other places. So I didn't think it was, again, when I saw a lot of the feedback about how groundbreaking it was, I was just honored to be a part of that. I mean, Sexy Star is a badass. We were in there, and I'm like, okay, obviously she's in incredible shape. Like, let's see what she has. And then she was hitting me, and I'm like, oh my God, like, stop hitting me. This girl is beating the crap out of me. And that's coming from a guy who's been in the gym since he was 10 years old and prides himself in his physical abilities. And I was like, I don't want to be hit anymore by her. So she is legitimately tough. So it's just like, I can almost draw like a UFC parallel. I believe I'm right in saying that there was a time where I think they were on record saying that they're not interested in women fighting and that it won't happen. And they've since gone back on that. So it's like, I think that whole division is now open as far as I know. And it's like, again, that's just more of that evolution that I spoke of earlier where, times change, things change. Stuff that was barbaric or whatever years ago is now like, okay, I mean, let's revisit this. And do we just need the girls to be eye candy? Or do we just need them relegated to only wrestling amongst one another? Or can we see what they're really capable of? And can they get out there? And I mean, if they want to mix it up with the men, which I, for example, know Ivelisse does, then, why should they be held back from doing that? So I would venture to get a lot of female talent feels that same way. And I think that, moving forward, I think we have kind of given a platform to that. I think we'll see more of it. I mean, I think, people enjoy watching it and the talent involved enjoys it. So I think there'll be more of it, again, moving forward.
Final question, BG?
As we're seeing, you're getting a lot more success and momentum at Lucha Underground. But what do you feel you need to do to break through to the next level and contend for the Lucha Underground Championship?
That is something that I would like to do. And it's funny because my storyline has been so unique. I mean, I started out against Sexy Star, and then I wrestled, Mascarita Sagrada, then I wrestled Pimpinella. So I was treated more and seen more as a joke by people. And then slowly, as Aztec Warfare happened and the 10-way match happened, and I got to show glimpses of what I was capable of, all of a sudden, the talent started to open their eyes. The guys behind stage, vaccines, started opening up their eyes. The fans opened up their eyes, and they've, luckily they've taken to me, and they've seen a guy, and I wear it as a badge of pride. I've been there since the first episode. I mean, no matter what happens with the show and where it goes, and I see big things, I'll forever have been part of the first show, which only had 6 people on it. So I think fans know and appreciate stuff like that. And they're like, hey, here's one of the original guys who stuck his neck out for this company, believed in the concept, went there, ready to give his all, and has done so from day one. I think that's the kind of stuff that, again, resonates with people, and it's contagious in a way. And they're like, here's a guy putting it all on the line for us and doing everything for us and showing what he's capable of. And I think that'd be a nice, goal of mine to have and a nice place to aim for. And I don't think it's that out of the question. I think me and Prince Puma, the current champion, have shown little bits and pieces of what we can do in other kind of matches, and then already had some people kind of calling for that match. I mean, I don't think anyone would be opposed to a Prince Puma versus Son of Havoc match. I think what we could do in the ring would be, pretty spectacular, very one of a kind, set the company apart further as it continues to do. And I would love an opportunity like that. So I'm just going to keep, as I have from day one. I mean, I think I've gone from 0 to 60 in a very short amount of time, and I kind of want to keep up that momentum, I love being a part of this company. I love, kind of reinventing the business that I love. And then I think to be on top of it one day is certainly a goal of mine. I mean, even as we get guys like Alberto El Patron and stuff like this, and just these world-class talents, to be able to test myself against them. I mean, I'm only in this to be as best as I can be, and you only get better working guys better than you. So this has opened me up to a whole different style and a set of guys. I'd love to test myself against the best and show that, why I have been all over the world.
A huge thanks to Lucha Underground star Son of Havoc. By the way, how did the name Son of Havoc come about?
Oh, that was given to me, and I think it fits. I mean, I love bringing chaos and destruction to the ring. I think I'm something different. I'm like the aerial executioner. I got this crazy look, and it kind of works. And then this black attire and Ivelisse in the same. I think I think I'm a badass, and I think it all works together.
Perfect. Catch him every Wednesday, 8 p.m. Eastern Time on the El Rey Network. Tell the fans where they can support you, man.
Oh, sorry, I didn't catch that.
Tell the fans where they can support you.
Oh, yeah. Just keep watching Lucha Underground. Keep telling everybody about it. I mean, I think we're a part of a revolution. The last time something, in my opinion, was fresh and different was, 96, 98, ECW? Some of us, I was a part of that. Some of you guys missed it, only heard about the lore. Well, here's a new chance, a new opportunity, a new generation. This is wrestling speaks to us. This isn't our parents' wrestling. This isn't our grandparents' wrestling. This is something for our generation that's fresh and new. So get on board and watch the show, support any way you can, and just spread the word. We live in this great time of social media where just a tweet about watching the show sent to your friends, word of mouth is still so powerful, and the stretch of that. And let's continue to grow this and give wrestling a chance. I mean, it's been in a monopoly, I feel like, personally, for too long. So the entire industry strives under competition. Let's get something going. We're providing an alternative product. So it's the change that I've wanted to see forever. Hopefully other people that have clamored for change are getting on board, and let everybody know about Lucha Underground.
Another huge thanks to Lucha Underground star Son of Havoc. Thank you for coming on the show. Good luck moving forward, man.
Yeah, my pleasure. Good talking to you guys.